I know it's
Look, bro. I don't give a fuck. Was this a cordial conversation, or are they attacking each other? Effort at 59 minutes.
April 1st, but I'm not fooling. The title is not a joke. I talked to Sneako. And I gotta be honest, I had butterflies in my tummy. I was more excited to talk to him than I would be to talk to Santa Claus. Now, I know this will be coming as a shock to a lot of you, a bit of a jump scare, so I hope you're sitting down so it doesn't knock you off your feet. Sneako and I have not been on the best of terms recently.
Nope.
We've tried our best to keep it a secret and handle it behind closed doors, but unfortunately, it's bled into the public eye, and you know what? By golly, I'll say it with my whole chest for all to hear. We just haven't liked each other. We haven't seen eye to eye on many things, so our internet beef has become this fine...
Chat, if a video is an hour long and you played at 1.25 speed, how long is the video?
Wagyu steak. It's been this very tasty, juicy bit of drama between the two of us, and today, it finally boiled over and we had a conversation. And I want to show you some clips from it. He actually asked me to record, so don't think that this was some kind of one-party consent thing where I pulled the wool over his eyes and pulled his fucking pants down to surprise him with recording. He had actually asked me to.
Delay, my fault.
And I want to show you how this went, because it was actually a very interesting conversation we had.
I want to see how this convo goes, even if you don't watch the whole thing.
Last night, I noticed Sneako was raving about cuties on Twitter yet again, talking about how much he loves it and how he'll always defend it, but then said that I wouldn't debate him.
Chat, did you see that one tweet Sneako did, gang? Y'all saw that shit? Twitter.com. Let me show you. The one I quoted. The one I quoted. Y'all saw this shit? Kasanat, YourRAGE, Gideon, Aiden, Hazan, XQC, Asmongold, literally every streamer YouTube reacted to the most critical video on me. Not one reacted to my response video. Even the people I've defended. I defended Kasanat for grape allegations. Defended YourRAGE when Twitch banned him. When did you do that, my boy? And if you did, every time Twitch banned me, they reversed it because I was getting fucking spam reported by bots or some shit. But okay, I guess that happened. Defended Gideon from Pokemon hate. Defended Aiden Ross from getting Twitter canceled. Not one of them have my back when I'm against the wall. Not one. The Soy Boys understandably have an agenda. I made the mistake of thinking people were friends in this game. They will use you for clout. None of them care about truth. They want to turn me into a meme. It's not about everything. It's not about anything but views. Pay close attention. Okay. The roasting got to this nigga. Obviously, the roasting got to this nigga. Because there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way, bro. This is just... Okay. It's Sneako. You gotta understand. Niggas gonna have your back if they agree with you. Niggas who have your back when they don't agree with shit you're talking about are called dick riders. They call it dick riders. If niggas don't agree with you, they're not gonna have your back. They're just gonna sit there and like, you know what I'm saying? DEO Jericho, 5 gifteds. I guess you wanted us to blindly just go and defend him instead of just reacting to the battles. Second of all, who the fuck is supposed to know you dropped a fucking reaction video on Rumble? How the fuck are we supposed to know that? Who heard about a fucking response, my boy? Then he did DM me a Rumble link. I'm looking at the Rumble link. I'm like, bro, I'm just not clicking it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, send me a YouTube link or something, and I'll watch it maybe. But a fucking Rumble link, like, it's just not in my brain. It's just not in my brain, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I just did not care to click it. I just didn't care, my nigga. You feel me? And that's cap. The last, not this situation, but when you weren't banned on YouTube, I literally watched your video while my whole chat was like, why are we watching this? Why are we watching it? I literally watched your response, bro. I literally did and reacted to it and posted it.
On it. And this little nugget of cringe had me scratching
banned off Twitch, bro. Like, what?
Hair on my chin.
Can't just be out here
I wouldn't
going on Rumble watching your videos.
I'd actually love to hear your side of things on how you could possibly excuse the blatant sexualization of the child actresses in the film. Now, I'm not a debater. I actually am not a fan of debates in general. I prefer just general conversations as opposed to these like gotcha and leading questions and traps and shit. I think that's not very conducive to actual understanding of different sides of arguments. So I don't debate, but I was very willing to have this conversation with Sneako, and I reached out to talk to him, and he was more than willing to talk about it. So we did. We talked about cuties and even talked about all of our general grievances with each other. And this was a very different side of Sneako. I went into this expecting him to be his standard, unhinged, like very animated, cartoonish self that I see in all of his content on Twitter and Rumble, where he's doing these like temper tantrums and like throwing his ass in a circle and going wild, hog wild. But here, This was a very laid back, very calm and collected Sneako who was actually more than willing to concede on some of his points as well as see different sides of situations. And I didn't expect that. And I'm very appreciative of that pleasant surprise as well, because I went into this with pretty low expectations, but after finishing our talk, I'm actually pretty curious to see where Sneako goes next, because, like I mentioned, there are some things that he just fully admitted, like maybe he was guilty of doing similar things that he criticized others for.
Clone?
And that
Yo, wait, what's going on? Wait, what? He showing some humility? What's happening? What's happening?
He was going to be repurposing his message and changing things around to make it more conducive to positivity. So overall, the whole conversation went in a totally different direction than I expected. Of course, he's still very passionate about some things, and we still fought on quite a few things. And the reality is there's just a lot of things that I don't see eye to eye to him on with some of the things he talks about. But overall, I really walked away with a very different impression of Sneako from this. Now, I know I'm...
Chat. He might have been right. Bullying works, bro. Bullying works, bro. If Sneako's a changed man, best believe it's because all the fuck. Maybe it's because he did go to Japan, right? It might be the combination of experiencing other cultures and other, like, ideologies, and y'all just being on his fucking ass.
blue balling you here, but one more thing that I think is important to mention. He has said that he's wanted to debate me over the last 2 weeks here. He even made this big hullabaloo on Twitter about how I ducked a debate with him on Aiden Ross' stream. Even though he had not replied to any of my DMs at that point, there was no debate scheduled between him and I. So that was just a blatant lie. I think he was just joking around about it, and it missed the mark, and people actually thought that I was avoiding him.
Why you say that?
He's not wrong in the fact that I really didn't want to have a conversation with him over the last 2 weeks because all of it was extremely geared towards hurt feelings. At least that's how I interpreted a lot of his statements. It seemed to focus more on me saying, "P.U., you stink," and him taking it as, he's canceling me. There's not a whole lot of productive conversation that can come from that with me just explaining over and over again that I'm just insulting you, and that's the simple brass tacks of it. But over the last 48 hours, it really does feel like he's had this come-to-Jesus moment where he's recognized that I was never canceling him. I was making fun of him. He even issued an apology about bringing up my girlfriend and stuff like that, and has recognized that he has been off the mark on a lot of things recently as well. He also, apologized for being a cuck, which was a wild thing. He talked about how cuckoldry was a mistake. So it looks like he was never okay with it, even though for a time he did say everyone should try it. It looks like he's changed his perspective on that and now looks back on it with a lot of regret, which isn't surprising since those insults were not...
Bro, okay, so the reason why he said he did that cuck-ass shit is because he felt bad because he was cheating on his bitch. I don't care if there was a bitch I cheated on 100 times. Yes, I'm gonna feel bad, but not bad enough for me to watch you get... I don't give a fuck. Nigga, I don't care. That's tough. I'm gonna repent for my sins. I am sorry. But I am not watching you get fucked, gang. That's just not what's happening.
Not some of his favorite to keep hearing. So that's not really a discussion we had. I think and have always said, whatever happens between consenting adults in the bedroom is fine. As long as no one's getting fucking hurt, there's no, victims, it's consenting adults, you're good to do whatever makes you happiest. The reason I always talk about the cuckoldry is, one, because fucking hilarious that a lot of his beliefs now go very much against his past of being open to watching his girl get fucked in front of him by multiple men on a couple occasions. And two, it was illustrating a bit of ridiculousness with him being the moral authority on healthy relationships when he himself was in a very confusing one that he wasn't proud of, yet still preaching that people should do it anyway. That was the whole point behind it. I wasn't trying to kink shame like a lot of people started accusing me of. If you want to be a cuckold, then be a proud one and be okay with it and comfortable in your own skin about it.
Facts, chat, so, come out. I know there's some closeted cuckolds in my chat.
Real talk, and that's what we had. So let me go ahead and show you now. The first thing we talked about was
trying to slut me out?
This discussion with you about cuties since I dropped that video back in 2020.
How time flies, man. Well, better late than never.
So, have you seen the movie?
Yeah, so you mentioned you saw my video, so you know I didn't finish the movie. I physically couldn't. I found it just to be completely repulsive.
Haven't you seen a lot of other movies that have repulsed you before? I watch horror movies. I watch movies that are provocative quite a bit.
Yeah, but this is something I feel
different.
Isn't being recognized. There's a difference between being repulsed by fiction, which is like horror movies, that's not real, and being repulsed because there's real children doing sexual things. You can't fake that. The actresses were 11 to 13 years old. They were twerking. There was some very gross scenes in there, and the cameras would zoom in on their chest and their ass and their crotch.
What?
That's a very different kind of repulsed.
That's what we agree on. I don't agree that those scenes are good. I don't agree with the sexualization of children. I defend the movie because I defend the morality of the movie. And I think that most people that were discussed have seen those clips or didn't watch the whole movie like you. So that movie was taken out of context quite a bit. People don't really...
Okay, so I get the point. Like, the movie is trying to send a message. But it gets to the point where you're using children as like, yo, I don't care for the message anymore. Like, I can't watch this shit. Like, I don't care for the message. You didn't have to use real jits, bro. Dio Jericho, thank for the 5 get this gang. Appreciate you.
Really see the moral of the movie, which
Jericho,
is defending Islamic values, and also pointing out the very real problem that young girls have going on social media and doing these dances. I agree that it's disgusting. I agree that those scenes are repulsive, but I think you could be repulsed by TikTok and pretty much what young girls are doing on social media every single day as well. I think that people outraged at that film should also be outraged at everything that girls are doing now on Instagram, TikTok, and all these apps.
Well, see, but here's the thing. So let's break it down to the very bare essentials. Can children consent?
Can children consent? No, they can't. We agree.
So then why do you think it's excusable to exploit them after having them sign up for this film? If you admit they can't consent, how can they possibly give the okay to be shaking their ass and having a camera?
I don't see young girls on my no, there isn't one time I open TikTok or YouTube and I see the jit twerking or a camera zoomed in on their chest. Like, that's just not a reality of this. I've never seen that in my life. Like, at all, ever in life.
All up in their shit while they're doing sexual things, like that scene where she takes a picture of her vagina, the scene where they're doing literal...
What did he just say to me?
In their shit while they're doing sexual things, like that scene where she takes a picture of her vagina, the scene where they're doing literal, like, toying around with cam sites, like, that's very different. Like, no one is disputing the message, right?
It's I agree with the intention of the movie. I don't think that those scenes are good. That's what we completely agree on. But I think that was an important movie to point out how many people get sucked into this world. I think that was needed. That movie was needed to be made. And I also don't think that movie encouraged pedophiles to go and cite and look at these girls. I think that they're more likely to go on TikTok and find girls that they're attracted to. I don't think that this really attracted people to these girls.
Well, it's not like I'm here arguing that this movie created pedophiles, right? But what it did is it delivered a film that they would watch for totally different reasons than the message. Again, the message isn't something that I or pretty much anyone has an issue with. The message is, like you mentioned, the social media poisoning them, making them do the sexual things, which is a problem. But this movie contributes to it since it still used real children to sexualize them to showcase it.
You know what's a fut question I heard? Would you allow... What was it? Would you allow pedophiles to watch CP if it means they stop, like, going after children in real life? Answer that question. Would you let pedophiles watch CP if it meant they'll never touch a child ever in real life? There was like a whole debate on that. There was a whole debate on that.
Issue. You didn't need it to be children.
I don't think it contributes
Just
to it.
shoot them,
When you see girls doing this on TikTok, they don't know.
I don't see girls doing it on TikTok, though, is the thing, right? The only people that would are going to be the pedophiles. They would go and search that out. This movie was advertised on Netflix.
No, that's not true. Every time, I don't have TikTok on my phone, but once in a while, before I was banned, I would go on there, and the first 3 videos would be the same thing that you see on QT.
Yo, chill. I don't advocate for the death of anybody, Twitch, okay? Just lock up in a cage or some shit.
And that's why I uninstalled the app. That's why I refuse to have it on my phone, because it's directing you to those images.
Which is a problem. I'm not disagreeing that's a problem. But that doesn't make this film...
We agree, but we just disagree that I think the movie was important to point out a flaw. Personally, I never empathized with girls being directed to that site before I saw that movie. That really made me understand what it's like to be a girl and grow up in that age.
I think we're getting... Yes, we agree that it is disgusting, but you are excusing it because you believe it highlights a very real issue, which it does. But it contributes to that issue by using children. They didn't have to use kids. You recognize that, right? They could have used...
they didn't have to use kids. But I also look at the director and I look at the moral of the movie, and I don't think that it was anything unsafe, and I don't think that the director had any bad intentions making it. So maybe it shouldn't have been as sexualized, but I defend the morality of the movie, and I also defend the effect that it had on me. When I watched that made me have a new perspective.
But do you see why that kind of...
A new perspective.
Jesus, sorry, that was my cat.
Oh, that was a fart, nigga. What type of cat? You have a dragon? The shit was that? Wait, how did that movie change his perspective? Shouldn't your perspective always been like, yo, this shit is wrong? How much more could it change? Isn't that just like a standard thing? Like, yo, the exploitation of kids is wrong. Do you have to watch Cuties to realize that or some shit?
Do you see why that's kind of concerning to hear, though? Because in the time that I watched that film, there were unreal amounts of sexual scenes. In fact, the majority of the movie was them doing like the dance routines where they're smacking each other's ass, zoomed in on their...
Not listening, bro. What part am I confused on? Okay, what would me watching Cuties do for me? In a positive way. What would it tell me that I don't already know? Tell me. Tell me. Those people that I'm saying I'm not listening, tell me. No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Like, I'm not trying to roast anybody. That young girl getting influenced to do sexual things by using social media. Well, no shit. No shit. He said he don't feel bad about kids on TikTok addicted to likes before. Huh? Sexual relationship of minors comes from social media. I think we know that though. Social media manipulation of kids. I think the only people that don't know that are like, well, I personally know that. There's probably people out there that don't know that. I already been realized that. That's why Kanye did not want motherfuckers, I mean, his kids with TikTok and shit. And I completely understand why, nigga.
Kicking their ass in the camera. There's that scene where a security guard's like, what are you girls doing here? And they're like, we're dancers. He's like, prove it. So they start twerking for him and he's like, oh, great, get in here. Like, that is a problem. No matter how you...
Like, bro, like, look, we all love Ice Spice and shit. But, bro, since kids are not monitored at all these days, bro, there's probably jits out there doing a fucking Ice Spice dance on TikTok and shit, bro.
Again, the message is fine. There was never anything wrong with the message, and maybe the intention of the director was...
How would you tell the director to convey the message in a different way?
You would just not use children. You could deliver the same message, and you don't use children.
So how do you stop that, though, chat? Because Ice Spice makes music for, like, adults. Let's say she makes music for adults. But people put that music on the internet. Kids have access to the internet. It's not Ice Spice's fault, because she's not targeting kids. But kids could stumble on it. So how do you like stop that? It's honestly the parents' job. I think so too, but like, there's only so much you could do. The kids go to school and then what? Their friends are gonna teach them shit. But I feel like it really, really comes down to parents too, though. I really feel like parents could really instill crazy like morals onto their kids. After I seen how my sister turned out, I 100% believe that. Or maybe she just dumb and she just got shit slow, and that's why she was so slow with shit and so nurtured and fucking innocent, like. But I really feel like parents could fucking, but they gotta be on it, bro.
The problem is,
I don't think it would be effective. I don't think it would be as effective. It's so unfortunate that it's misinterpreted, but
maybe she is
you couldn't
dumb.
Be able to have that effect and show how provocative and how dangerous it is without using kids.
Yeah,
of course, the shots probably did not need to be that bad, but when I watched that, I was absolutely disgusted. And like I said, it changed my perspective. And what I'm surprised about is that you are against wokeness, because everything that your content is about, it doesn't seem like you've ever directed any energy towards how dangerous wokeness can be, which is exactly what that movie's about. It's saying how important Islamic values are in the face of wokeness. It's about a West.
No, I'm being 100. Like, I don't think you understand how when I say innocent, like I'm talking about like my sister is 20 years old now. She found out a dude that she was talking to smoked weed, and she got terrified and thought he was a drug dealer. And never talked to him again. She was like 18, 19 years old when she was like, what's a condom? Bro, she's afraid that. Like she would show me messages like, what does this mean? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I like it that way because I don't gotta worry about shit. I don't gotta worry about shit. Right? I don't gotta worry about shit. Like, and her friends from school would always call her like, I almost said her real name out loud. Would always call her like oblivious to shit and shit. But those friends were like sluts and shit, like crazy sluts and shit. And she wouldn't know what the fuck is going on, bro. And I'd be wondering, how the fuck did my mom do that, bro? Like, I'm telling you, chat. Every message any dude sends my sister on Snapchat or anything, my mom, she shows my mom. She's like, Mommy, what is this? What does it mean? Should I talk to this guy? Should I reply back to this? Do you think he means good intentions? What is this? I'm like, bro, me and you are a complete opposite. I wasn't telling my mom shit.
It's an African family, Islamic. They go
like,
to
we're
France,
opposites.
A completely woke country that's now being burned alive, and women are running around topless.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's good. It's good that way. I didn't have to worry about my sister bringing home no dudes, of her going to no dude's house, and she didn't even care to do that shit. Like, there wasn't one time I had to worry about a dude coming over. Not one time I had to worry about her. Bro, she would literally go to school, come home, and fucking do bullshit.
Has consumed France, and it's pointing out
she had friends in the neighborhood come over and
which
shit.
is embracing Islamic values.
Who was the director of the film? Do you know?
Her name is Maminou Doucouré. Maminou Doucouré, I think that's her name. She's a Western African woman, and she moved to France. So I imagine that she had a very similar experience, and she was trying to portray what it was like growing up.
So the message of the movie is about social media and almost exclusively. She directed the film based on seeing some children in a neighborhood doing sexual dances and wondering, how did it get to that point? This isn't okay. So the movie was supposed to be about how does a child get to that point, and it's about how social media is poisoning them, and they're constantly comparing themselves, they're seeing these things, so they're putting on makeup and they're doing sexual shit.
Facts.
And they never really understand why or the consequences of it.
Right.
It's not a critique on wokeness, though. Of course, anything in the art field you can derive your own meaning from. I recognize that almost everything you encounter in life you tie back to either cancellation or wokeness. But in this film in particular, this is a movie I really feel conflicts hard with.
Sneako, Sneako. On my life, I know this version of you probably doesn't get as many views and clicks, but this is, even with the opinions you have, you debating and talking like this is way more consumable, bro. It is, I can listen to this shit. This other you with, Matrix. Bro, I just can't listen to that shit, gang. Like, holy fuck. This shit, you're having a conversation, off, you talk, calm. Even though you have the same opinion, it's like way more consumable, bro.
With your ideology. Under no circumstances should children be sexualized, is where I stand. Do you disagree?
You're not fucking trying to be OD for your little fans and shit.
There's a lot of things in movies, like, I don't agree with incest in Star Wars, but Star Wars has incest scenes. I don't agree
but that's
with
not
incest, but it's portrayed.
I'm sorry.
It's not
I'm so
real
sorry,
incest,
Chad.
though. This is real children being sexualized. It's not fake. These are 11.
I agree, but I'm defending the point of the movie.
You can defend the point of the movie, but you can still condemn the movie itself. The point can stand on its own 2 feet, right? Like, there is a problem, which you recognize, with kids being sexualized, in specific on TikTok. That is a problem in and of itself. But you can still condemn this film for contributing to the thing it's supposed to speak out against, which is sexualizing children, which you have admitted it does. And it didn't need to, like you said. That is the problem.
Maybe they shouldn't have used child actors, but I agree with the point of the movie. But how do you think that the point could have been conveyed in a better way? You think should they have used 18-year-olds to play 11-year-olds?
That's exactly what most movies have done for a long time.
That's what every show does, bro. Every show with like high schoolers and shit, bro. The motherfuckers like 25. I look up them actors, 28 years old, my nigga. The motherfuckers in Euphoria are pushing 30.
Quick example is The Last of Us using Bella Ramsey to
Bella Ramsey. I'm over here flaming her on the Instagram story. You're like, yo, she's a little girl, bro. She's 21 years. She's 20, gang. That's a grown woman, bro. She's not 15 years old, gang.
Portray like a 14, 15-year-old. Like, you can do that, and that's a lot more acceptable because there is no longer a victim. Like you had said, children can't consent. These kids could never fully consent to being sexualized in this film like this on the big screen.
I would argue that when they use 30-year-olds and 27-year-olds to play high schoolers, like in Euphoria and like in 13 Reasons Why, it actually sexualizes kids more because we start to mature high schoolers and we think of them in a different way. People in their 30s and their late 20s get addicted to Euphoria and they have ideas and they start romanticizing teenagers in a different way because
I see it, yo, because in Euphoria, you gotta understand, I was watching these shits. Like, I had some moments where I was watching some of these singings and shit. I'm like, yo, these are fucking high schoolers, bro. These are fucking high schoolers, bro. But at the same time, though, not as wild, like motherfuckers getting fucking blown up in their house with shotguns and shit. A lot of that shit was going on in high school, bro. Like, it is what it is. A lot of that shit is going on in high school, bro.
They don't use actors in that way. They make them look more mature.
That's a completely separate conversation you can make arguments for, but that doesn't work here because it sexualizes already real children, right? So I think you're getting hung up on like the what ifs and like whataboutisms on other sides, but the core doesn't change. So let me give you an example. It is realistic to use kids for the message, right? Because it's about kids.
Right.
Well, what if the child was naked doing the vagina pic? If they showed the kid's vagina, is that now too far? It's still realistic.
That's too far. So there's 2 ways the movie could have been changed to be more effective and that people would understand the message. 1, they could have used child actors and they should not have been sexualized in that way. Or 2, they could have been 18 plus and it could have been sexualized, but then it wouldn't have been as effective. One of the 2 should have changed. I agree.
Okay. So then, do you think there's like levels to sexualization of kids that is acceptable and then unacceptable?
No, this is never acceptable to sexualize children, but
Then we agree. So then can we then say, since this film sexualized children, I can't really champion.
Well, here's the thing, though. If Cuties was just a regular movie that they use adult actors I don't feel like he would be going as hard for this movie. It's because the movie is so canceled and problematic is why he's going so hard for it. If it was a regular ass movie using regular 18 plus actors portraying little jits and all that shit, I don't feel like he'd be going as hard, bro. It's the fact that this movie is so controversial, whereas like he's standing such a high fucking stance on it, bro.
Be in the film. However, the message is okay. Like, I like the message.
I agree completely. But the reason I defend that movie is because I think everybody just saw those scenes and looked past the message and looked past the good moral that the director had.
Yo, what's good, boy?
That could very well be the case for some people.
That's because nobody would have cared.
Right?
I know,
100%.
I would say most people who hate the movie haven't seen it. Most of the people accusing me of being a pedophile for defending the movie haven't seen it and have no idea what it's about. They've just seen those scenes.
But they're also still not,
okay, chat. That's another thing.
Not wrong for being upset about those scenes.
You could 100% be upset with Sneako and all that shit, but he's not a. Is he a pedophile for that, chat? I don't think that makes him a pedophile, bro. Yes? No, he's not a pedophile. It's just weird.
Like, can you recognize that?
We be throwing around these fucking loaded ass, big ass words too much. Pedophile, misogynist, all type. We be throwing them words around way too much, bro.
At the problem, I think people should direct that anger instead of calling me a pedophile on the internet. They should look at the system that turns these girls into sexual objects at a young age and be more angry at that. Bro. That is the real issue. That's the bigger problem at large.
They do, though. It's not mutually exclusive, like where it's one or the other.
Do they? Do you?
Do I what? Talk about the problem?
Do you direct that anger? I see you.
Now, from here, we started branching off into other conversational topics, but I do want to go ahead and give a little wrap up here. After talking to him about it, it really feels like he sticks to his guns just out of pure stubbornness because he's defended it for so long. He's unwilling to forfeit on the point, even though he can clearly recognize that the sexualization of children is a bad thing. Okay. And since the movie sexualizes children, it is full stop a bad thing.
As long as this whole thing is not about cuties, I'm here for it. Cutie topic gets boring after a few minutes.
Without applauding the whole film, which is a problem. He repeatedly calls it his favorite movie and how important it is, but he's only referring to the intentions with the message, and the message is fine, but the film itself is not.
Bro, and I'm saying on God, if it was a regular, if the film portrayed fucking adults acting as kids, it would not be his favorite film. He would still like it, but it wouldn't be. He wouldn't be claiming this is his favorite fucking film, bro.
Fine. It wanted to speak out against social media,
because it's so
poisoning these children,
controversial, bro.
And, having them do sexual things, and it's horrible. The film wanted to call that out and point a light at how horrible it is, but doing so, they used real 11 to 13-year-olds and actually sexualized them. Thus, it's a fucking horrible thing that they produced, and by my definition, and many people's definition, is child porn. That shouldn't be defended by any means. Now, I wish Sneako would be able to just separate the message from the film, because the message is fine. That is something that you can applaud, but not the film itself.
Follow the narrative that's popular on social media, but I don't see you ever directed at the problem. Do you agree that wokeness is one of the biggest problems that corrupts kids nowadays?
Define wokeness.
Yeah, define wokeness.
Wokeness
I hate that shit.
The liberal ideology is feelings over facts. I identify this way because I feel like it is. There's no gender. Nothing matters. I do as I want. Everything that's promoted on social media.
Do you realize half of what you just described is how you've lived your life for the last year? Like feelings over facts, for example. You champion bullying. You think bullying needs to come back. I have never canceled you. Can you recognize that? I've actually always spoke out against deplatforming, if you've ever noticed. I spoke out against it.
No, but you were also disingenuous. When I called out the soy boy collage, you were like, these people just hurt my feelings. Most of those people actively advocated for my cancellation.
Nick is not green is the only person.
True. That's not true. Ethan Klein celebrated and clapped when I was banned and said, good, finally this misogynist is banned. What happens on the internet, I understand. It's good to have back and forth. Bullying is good because it makes you have to develop your character in a different way.
See, it's just anybody who's too far on either side, that woke fucking liberal shit and that hard fucking manosphere red pill fucking shit. If you're on the right end on each side, far end, you're fucking annoying and nobody fucking likes you but the people inside those communities, bro. You're fucking, like, I can't tolerate you motherfuckers, bro. If you're on either side, hard right, hard left, you're a bot. You're a bot to that community because all your fucking ideologies, the way of thinking is only going to be on that side. You can literally probably low-key deep down agree with some other shit, but because you're on this side, you can't because it goes against what the fuck you believe in shit. Like, get a fucking life, bro. Be your own fucking person, bro.
Hey, that's not why I was upset. I was upset because a lot of
whether you're woke or the other fucking side,
hoping that I was going to get banned because they disagree with my ideology.
But then why am I on that list when I only ever spoke out against deplatforming? That seems like I'm there because I hurt your feelings.
You didn't hurt my feelings. I thought it was funny because you do look like the rest of them.
I don't understand how, but we're not here to get into the nitty-gritty, I guess. Now, after talking to Sneako, it became clear that he really lives his life fearful of wokeness. He is constantly haunted by the woke boogeyman, like he's trapped in Luigi's mansion, but every ghost is woke. It's one of those things where every topic we started talking about always tied back to either cancellation or wokeness, which I think is pretty sad to be in that state of, I guess, unease, where he's always feeling as though woke is breathing down his
That's what I feel like. I can't even have a conversation with this nigga. I feel like every conversation I'd have with him, it could be about basketball, it could be about riding bikes, it could be about working out. It's somehow gonna lead to the Matrix is out to get him, wokeness, fucking. I can't even have a civil conversation with the nigga, bro.
His neck. It's haunting his dreams like Freddy Krueger. But I'm gonna get into that just a little bit more in a second. I do want to mention.
Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't hung out with him in real life or had conversations with him off stream and shit, like real conversations. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Where he's claiming it's not people that hurt his feelings, it's people that like advocated for his cancellation and shit. Which again, I never did. I have only ever made fun of him and insulted him, or made fun of one of his friends that he felt the need to pick up the the White Knight's armor to defend the honor of. So. I, under no circumstances, fit any of his definitions there, except for he thinks I look like the rest of the people there, which I have still not, to this day, seen a single living, breathing human being that has said there is similarity between anyone on that collage. Fucking 30 people on that collage, and there's no similarity amongst any of them. All types of different backgrounds, faces, hair, everything. Beliefs, it's not even fucking close. I don't know what he's seeing there. Maybe he's like face blind, so he sees everyone as like a default
TK said he was cool.
character
TK hung out with Sneako?
I don't know. But anyway, back to the woke topic. I wanted him to define woke, and he gave me his definition of woke. To his credit, that was more than I would have expected, because last time I saw someone try to define woke, it was a fucking disaster. But he clearly does have at least some belief on what wokeness is and what it means to him. Now, he asked me if I think that's the biggest problem facing the youth today. And I didn't really get to get a clear answer in there because
that was the old
kind of rapidly. My answer is no. But I do think the biggest problem that's plaguing the youth today is the fact that kids feel forced to choose sides so early in life, before their brain has even had a chance to develop. Now, whether you want to subscribe to one side of the political spectrum or the other, you are always being forced down one path in this level of tribalism where you always have to blindly support that side and hate everything and everyone on the other. I think that shit sucks fuck.
I don't think people are forced. I don't think people are forced to, but it's seen a lot. Y'all feel forced to pick a side? I don't think so. Y'all feel forced to pick a side? Yes, they are. I don't know. I think since we're so in too deep in this internet shit, we see it a lot. But the average person, like the average motherfucker, I don't think the average motherfucker is like in deep on this woke shit or even seeing it like that, bro. Let's be real. Think about the average homie you got, or person from school or work.
Life, and it leads to a situation that we see a lot now where people aren't friends with someone that don't share every single thing in common. For example, I have friends that I disagree with on many things, but we're still friends at the end of the day because we do have commonality in like personality and we have fun together. We don't need to agree on everything, and I wouldn't want that. I don't like echo chambers, and regardless of if you're on the woke side or the anti-woke side, you put yourself in an echo chamber no matter what. And both sides eat you alive if you so much as critique something about that side. It seems like it's constantly discouraged to think for yourself.
And that's why, like, none of them niggas like me. Because I'll roast them blue pill fucking annoying ass fucking emotional ass niggas on Twitter, and I also roast them fucking red pill ass fucking matrix ass niggas on Twitter. That's why none of them like me, because I don't dick ride at either of them.
Fed your thoughts, whether that's being fed the thoughts that Sneako hates or being fed the thoughts that Sneako champions. It's always being fed your own their ideas, and then you try and adopt them as your own, and any kind of deviation from that is frowned upon in the communities. And in fact, if you decide you don't want to go down either of those paths and you try and like take information from both sides and form your own perspective, you get insulted for being a centrist. What does it mean?
But okay, I see y'all saying that, but a lot of you niggas, y'all are changing. Y'all used to be more like based and shit. I've been peeping a lot. Like a lot of y'all niggas are kind of sensitive. I'm not gonna lie, like overly sensitive sometimes, bro. Like I be seeing some of y'all, not all y'all, some of y'all. You be like, Rage, don't say that. Rage, what are you talking? Yo, Rage, chill. I'm like, bro, really, bro? Like we really gotta chill with everything we say now, bro? Like, come on, dog. Are you new or some shit? This can't be the old YRG. Like some of y'all niggas is hella like sensitive and shit, bro.
Enlightened centrist, there is no winning.
Probably
the only winning move is not to play. That is what I feel the biggest problem is for the youth.
You'd be like, this is not it, Rage. Bro, fuck
decisions where they have to play for one team or the other for their whole fucking life.
Facts.
And then regardless of which side you choose to go to, you still get eaten alive by members of the same community if you're somewhat out of line or thinking too hard for yourself. That's what I think the biggest problem is with growing up with social media and Twitter constantly plaguing people's minds, which in turn leads to everyone being miserable and mad at everything and everyone. And I also think it lends itself to making everyone more...
That's for the chronically online motherfuckers, not the average motherfucker that use the internet fucking responsibly. I'm on the internet all the fucking time. This is my job, so I see
isolated and lonely, because then they lock themselves online, constantly fighting battles for their ideology on Twitter with fucking random bot accounts and actual nonsense every hour of every day. So that would be my
answer. You know there's kids at your school that do that, right? You're just gonna never know.
To what is actually plaguing the youth.
Similar. Overall, and you can see it with
you're just not gonna ever know, bro.
You still haven't corrected where you called
maybe one of your friends.
A lot of it, and you see people that hate me. They're like, "Oh, this alpha male, this alpha male, this alpha male Sneako," and I've never once called myself that. I don't think I'm an alpha male. I advocate towards things that are conservative. I advocate towards Islamic values. That doesn't mean that I think I am an alpha male.
I've never called you an alpha male. You're talking to someone.
You've called my friends that. You've called Fresh and Fit that, and you haven't.
They call them. You are really hung up on fighting for the honor of Fresh and Fit. What I did was exactly what you preach. I made fun of him. Calling him a virgin is a joke. Do I think he's actually a virgin? Probably not. And it's not even a good joke. Like, that's the laziest joke of all time, which is why it wasn't like the crux of it. I just made it as a throwaway statement in the middle of a rant about his ridiculous story. This is something that clearly weighs heavy on the mind of Sneako, where I insulted his friend and...
Facts. That's just facts. That's just facts. That side advocates for bullying, roasting, people are too sensitive. This nigga said something about Fresh, and you came through with your white knight shining armor, defending him and shit. Bro, it was a joke. Like, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, gang.
My God, he has not let that go. This has become like his Vietnam, because it really seems to have taken a big toll on his psyche.
It's
he believes I owe a retraction and apology for making fun of him and calling out his story. And he says that I was wrong about all of it, even though, I'll play the clip in a moment, further into our conversation, he also admits he doesn't know if he actually fucked the 3 women that he claimed he did.
You wouldn't defend TK? If somebody went online and called TK a virgin, said his story's ass, I'd be like, yo, that nigga does not know what he's talking about. That story was facts, and you're an idiot. That's it. Sneako made a whole fucking, like, rant on Charlie coming at him and his girlfriend, my nigga. Why the fuck would I, like, bro, no. I'm not doing that, no.
Nobody knows the story itself is outrageous. What they proved is he had DMs, like a conversation with the NBA player, but that doesn't corroborate the whole story. There is no apology or retraction necessary. It is still such a fucking crazy story he told that probably wouldn't even happen in the most obscure Brazzers porno ever.
Because you don't correct your mistakes. You were wrong about Fresh and Fit. You were wrong about Andrew Tate, and you were wrong about the movie Cuties.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you tied it back to Cuties, but before we get back to that, how am I feel like I'm one of the very few people on the internet who corrects himself. Whenever I make a mistake, I do go and make a clarification. For example, I got something wrong with a content creator holding a stand-up competition that was absolute dog shit, and then someone came there and made fun of him, and I didn't know the full context. Once I got the full context, I went back and made a follow-up video to explain it in more depth with more clarity. I always do that. With Fresh and Fit, you really hung up on this idea that he fucked 3 women that night after meeting an NBA player at a bar, and they exchanged Instagram information, and it turns out they were Eskimo bros with the same girl's pussy. Like, it's an outrageous story. Now, whether or not it's true...
Bro. Look. I'm being 100% honest. That story, even my dad, so that story sounds so like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Fresh, I got no beef with you. And the amount of NBA players I've met in Fresh, like, look, Fresh. I got no smoke with Fresh. Fresh, you know what I'm saying? You alright, you know what I'm saying? I met many NBA players, and not a single time would I even get the vibe that they'll go out their way, like, yo, you trying to go to a party tonight and, like, fuck hoes? Like, I just met you and shit, but, like, yeah, let's go to yeah. That just doesn't happen, bro. That's just, like, the nigga just met you, like, yo, come to my party, and, like, bro, like, come on, bro. Them niggas are hella, like low-key, exclusive. They're not just inviting random, but maybe it happened to you. Yeah, maybe it happened to you. I'm gonna say 99% chance it didn't, and I'm giving you the doubt of that 1%. If it happened, it happened, you know?
You haven't proved it either. Were you there watching him fuck? Were you cheering him on?
He verified it. He showed the DMs with the basketball player. They did the whole podcast verifying the story.
The DMs.
You didn't correct it. Okay, so you didn't correct that. They did verify the story. You didn't correct it.
Did they have the basketball player? Did they have the basketball player and the 3 girls he fucked come on and be like, oh my God, he absolutely plowed the shit out of me. It was the best sex of my life. Did he have?
That would be.
Or maybe they were at like a special place or some shit.
Basketball player verifying the story and that he did go to the party. Whether or not you want to believe he was with 3 women, I wasn't there either. I guess we're never gonna know. But
exactly.
You did get the DMs from the basketball
player.
Maybe
I'm just ugly, chat. I can't get into
if there's
NBA
even
parties.
Small elements of that story that are somewhat true, I guarantee the whole thing is still embellished because the story he told is a work of fucking Tumblr fan fiction. It is not exactly how...
I feel like a more realistic thing is like, oh, my boy knew an NBA player. I met him. He invited us to the thing because my boy was a connection between us two. And yeah, that sounds believable. But you just chilling at a bar and some NBA player comes up to you like, yo, party? Yeah, bitches? Yeah, let's go.
but played out under no universe, especially not for him. He is an extremely sensitive guy. He would probably have started crying after the first round of sex instead of going right to the next girl. Like, it is just not something that happened, and even if there is some elements of truth to the story, the whole thing is probably still not 100% accurate, and even still, the whole core of the video is the same. I was making fun of the guy. That would still stay entirely intact. Now, I'm getting carried away with Fresh and Fit here. The conversational topic here was about not correcting things that I've got wrong. And I've actually prided myself on being willing to accept when I'm wrong. I think that's one of the most important qualities a person can have, and something that is very unfortunately absent from most people in the current day and age, where everyone has this complete reluctance and this like, ooh, yuckiness, I can't be wrong, I have to be perfect all the time attitude. I am more than willing to embrace and accept when I get things wrong, which is why I've made so many videos saying,
I was out here thinking Tory Lane's about to be set free. Bro, I took an L, bro. Y'all got me. I thought that nigga ain't shoot. You know what I'm saying? I thought, you know what I'm saying? Dance, bitch. I thought like, you feel me? Look, I took an L, bro. Y'all got it. Y'all owned me. Y'all owned me. You feel me? Y'all owned me. I told you hard-headed, look, y'all own me, bro. I'm taking accountability.
Talk about this, got this wrong, this one was off, and adding more clarity to situations that I've covered when more information came out, or if something turned out to be fraudulent. I have done that for years, and I always have. In the case of Fresh and Fit, there is nothing to fucking correct. Now, I'm going a little out of order of our conversation because we kept bouncing back and forth between certain things, fucking pinballing around, but I'm trying to connect all the points together. So we're going to talk about the Andrew Tate thing in a moment. That's something we talked about for a little bit because Tate is very clearly someone that is a heavy influence in Sneako's life. But before then, I do want to...
Bro, y'all gonna hate me, bro. Listen. Before Andrew Tate was getting canceled and shit, bro, them Andrew Tate videos was funny as fuck to me, gang. Cause I was able to like extrapolate like the bullshit he was talking. Like half the shit is fucking for memes and laughing and oh yo and all this shit. I just was, bro. So whenever I see a reel of that shit, I'm like, oh. And the way he was talking, the shit was like entertaining. Like you'd be like, yo, what is this nigga talking about? And he'd always make some shit like it just is what it is. I'm being 100, gang. Whether he's sex trafficked bitches, I don't know. See, I was ignorant. I didn't know that if you like that lover boy method thing, I didn't know that was sex trafficking. Like, I didn't know. I was ignorant. I didn't know, like, if you make a bitch fall in love with you and make her believe you want her to be your girlfriend and shit, and then, you know what I'm saying, you have her fly out to your country, you're like, yo, actually, I want you to be an OnlyFans model for me, and I'm running your business and shit. And they agree to it, and it's okay. I didn't know that was sex trafficking. I ain't gonna lie. When I thought of sex trafficking, I was thinking about motherfuckers kidnapping people, locking them up, gun in the cell. All the time. That's what I thought. On God, I thought that's what I thought. I didn't know it was like it was like levels to the shit, like branches and shit. Like when I think of sex trafficking, I'm thinking about niggas kidnapping motherfuckers, selling, you know.
Focus on a couple other things we talked about, and
that's
him victimizing himself constantly. This is something I've called out, and I
think a lot of people are like you, bro. That's
what I thought,
bro.
The woke for are ones that you actively partake in. Victimization. That's a big thing with the woke, right? Constantly playing the victim. Do you recognize how often?
Rice Gum literally just like it would be like ask the Instagram model, yo, you wanna work? Can I be your manager for OnlyFans? Boom. That's it.
You play the victim in terms of like, I'm being canceled, everyone's against me. You go on your Discord to talk more about it. Even this morning,
yo, who dog barking, gang? Oh, that's Charlie.
Shaming people that you think have slighted you as like a cancellation. You do the exact same things. Like you are also an SJW.
That's not victimizing. That's actively pointing out that literally every streamer, the entire internet, all of YouTube reacted to your video. I drop a response where I even apologize for going out of character and getting emotional, and then people.
What's up?
It's a million views in 12 hours. Nobody watches my rebuttal. Some of them react and making me die in an animation, but nobody wants to see what I have to say. I've become a caricature on YouTube rather than somebody who has something to say. I've become a meme because I am banned. That's not victimizing. That's actively pointing out how strong censorship is and how people on mainstream.
Bro, Sneako, I promise you did not become a meme because you're banned, bro. You became a meme because like you just say crazy shit. I'm not gonna lie, you just say dumb shit. To the point where people stop taking you seriously and just use you as a meme, bro. I promise you that's what it was. I promise you. Yes, you being banned is annoying. I don't like that the fact that this nigga's banned. Cause who the fuck wants to go on Rumble to see what the fuck his responses to shit is, bro? But like, bro, you're a meme because of the shit you say, bro. Like people don't take you seriously no more. They just don't.
Platforms can run with the narrative when you're not there.
Don't. You did it to yourself. And I feel like if you were calm, you were more reasonable with your takes and calm and shit like this, I don't think you would have became a meme.
The way you just justified it is...
But like this isn't as entertaining as what you were doing before. You know what I'm saying?
people that you call playing the victim would also be able to justify things. The point is, when you are constantly whining and talking about how you're being attacked, it is still being victimized. I tried to point
Yeah,
the
cuck shit
at
is
him
just
to
a nail in
point
the
out
coffin.
that
That's
a lot
just-
of the
that's
things
just-
he
that's
criticizes others for is things that he actively does himself, and the one I focused on was victimization, because the way he justifies, playing the victim is justification people have used in the past that he calls out. So I was just trying to illustrate that it's not only hypocritical, but also just kind of silly that he, with all of his beliefs, still plays the victim and whines so much on Twitter. But that point wasn't really landing. We just kept kind of going in a circle about that one, so I don't want to focus on it too much here.
It's disingenuous, and now we're having the debate, but you would rather DM and go and make this about drama. Oh, let me go and react and do more drama content rather than have a conversation.
But I never
and I'm
did
glad
that.
You're doing it now.
But
Who?
You have to...
See, I hate ironic shit. You flamed this nigga before he even said a single word about you. Before his name even left your mouth. He responded to you by breaking down your points and then flaming you back. And then it's like, come on, bro. Like, I hate hypocrisy, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Remember that I didn't start any of this. You reacted to me telling jokes about your friend and then had your audience tell me, and that went on for like 2 weeks. And so eventually I explained why.
To the point where every day you were tweeting a picture of a nigga as a soy boy. What are you talking about, my nigga? What do you, yo, chat. Imagine after me and Low Tier God, our interactions and shit, he was tweeting every day his stream links, pictures of me and other niggas like, yo, these niggas wanted me canceled. That's literally what the equivalent is. Literally. Imagine.
I don't like you. And then when I did that, that was the only time I planned on talking about you. You went on stream with your gun to threaten me, and you kept it up for 3 months, adding me.
I didn't do that to threaten you. That was a joke about clips. You actually think I was threatening you?
Whether or
You're
not
talking
you
about
were...
victimized. You're gonna think, okay, you're gonna say victimized. You're gonna say I'm actively trying to threaten you by saying a clips joke on a stream.
I don't think you were actually coming after my life. It doesn't change the fact that for 3 months you continued to carry it on. I wasn't reacting to you. I wasn't even talking about you. This was a quick point that I think he did see my side on. He likes to make the claim that I was farming him for views and AdSense money, which couldn't be further from the truth. I never wanted to talk about Sneako. I never had plans of doing it. He kept poking and prodding me until I did. And then, once I did, he wasn't happy that I was so mean in my response that for 3 months he did carry on this very one-sided beef until, once again, I decided to spit and play in the pig pen.
And you quickly realizing doing videos on that nigga brings you thousands of fucking dollars. Don't cap.
Hey, man, look. I'm gonna be honest. Roasting Sneako gets views, bro. Because Sneako right now is the butt of the internet joke. It just is what it is. I'm being 100. It is, bro. So we're not gonna cap and act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Every fucking, like, roasting Sneako is a money glitch, bro. Bro, even me reacting to Sneako getting roasted is a money glitch, bro. Let's be honest.
And I made a...
Whenever, and it's not just because of Sneako. That's just what happens when somebody's the butt of the fucking internet joke. Every time. That's what happens, bro. That's what happens.
Tweet firing back at him after months of not even mentioning him, and then made a follow-up video, but it was never part of my agenda to do that. And I think after explaining it to him, he did see that he was really the instigator. And I am glad that he did have that, realization after our conversation, that he was willing to accept that. I think that is healthy, that he was open to seeing that.
Bro,
okay,
in our
maybe I was
community, it
wrong,
used to be
his
Pretty
intention
Boy
wasn't
Fredo.
Drama AdSense farming.
What do you think that I've said that I don't believe in?
So we'll use our beef, for example. You think I'm weak for not taking you up on a boxing fight. But on the same side of that coin, you won't take Brandon Buckingham up on that boxing fight. The whole point was, I don't stand by my beliefs because I won't fight you for it. Well, with that perspective, why wouldn't you fight Brandon Buckingham when you feel so strongly about your beliefs and he says the same things I do? Wouldn't you want to prove that you stand...
the first fight that I want to take would be against somebody, one, who has more clout than me, two, I disagree with ideologically. I don't disagree with him ideologically at all.
But he says the same things I say.
You literally just tweeted about niggas being clout chasers. You just said, I'm only gonna fight someone with more clout than me.
What is happening? This is the thing with all these motherfuckers. Everybody's a hypocrite on this internet shit, bro. Everybody's a fucking hypocrite, bro. I hate that shit. You just complained about niggas chasing clout.
About you.
This person has been obsessed for a long time. He's suing me for emotional distress. Personally, I don't care about this person, and there's no benefit for me to take my first fight with this person.
So then
if
your
I fought
beliefs...
somebody, I challenge.
So then
the reason I was banned on Twitter for challenging Hasanabi to a fight, one, because a lot of people want to see that. He's well known.
Hassan would beat. Look. I'm being honest, Sneako. No dick sucking. Hassan would beat the shit out of you. I'm not gonna lie. That is not a good matchup because the size and height difference, like, just no. He's like 6'4", 200 something. Like, no, I'm not saying that because I don't even know if that nigga could fight. That difference is just, you know what I'm saying? He could be soft for all I know, though. I don't know.
He disagrees with me completely.
He's just a big ass nigga. He's just a big ass
you,
nigga.
You have said a lot of things that are very negative about me. There's beef in the air, and you talk a lot about me.
If you fight him, nigga, you're 6 foot something. This nigga Charlie 5'5", 120, soaking wet.
Things that you probably wouldn't say to my face. It would be an entertaining fight.
But that's not the point. The whole point is you think I am weak, and you keep harping on this for not taking up on the fight. But you won't take someone up on a fight that's saying the exact same things I am. So it seems like the beliefs, you don't stand by that strongly if you're not confident you can make a spectacle.
Charlie, we both know you wouldn't accept a fight.
Right, I've made that very clear.
We both know. Even when I challenge you, we both know. It's to point out that a lot of people talk a lot of talk online, and they never have to face the consequences because they stay in their room gaming all day. That was to point it out. Men are tired of seeing this back and forth internet drama. They want to see people go and settle it. I've never said a word about this person that you're bringing up. I haven't said a word about him since last summer. I won't say his name publicly again. I'm being sued for emotional distress. I'm leaving that alone. I have no problem with this person. We have gone back and forth. We're going back and forth on Twitter. People want to see it. People are tired of these keyboard warriors going back and forth. That was to point out the fact that men should not feel so comfortable talking a lot of talk on Twitter that they would never say in person.
You made claims of Brandon Buckingham being like a rapist and shit. Wouldn't that be something that you'd want to fight about at that point? Like
that was not a claim that I made. That was not a claim that I made.
I can't remember the specifics of it, but you did toss out the word rapist when talking about Brandon Buckingham. I don't remember the context it was used in, but you did mention it, right? So why is all of a sudden that now beneath you? Like, you don't have any problems with him now after he's willing to fight. The point is, you're talking about, you say these things and you don't have consequences. Well, what about you? You said these things. He's trying to give you those consequences that you think are so important, and you won't take him up on it. There is a clear hypocrisy.
That was a different example. The guy was a previous fan. It's a giant misunderstanding.
Bro, all the fucking that's just excuses, bro. Excuses. Don't give a fuck. If you're allowed to have excuses why you don't want to fight Brandon fucking Ham, whatever the fuck his name is, Charlie's allowed to have excuses why he don't want to fight your ass too. That's just it. And after that, you hear his excuses, you're like, okay, it is what it is. Yeah, you have reasons. Okay, that's it. You try to fight him, he says no, you hear his reasonings, that is it. That's it. My nigga.
Lawsuit involved, so I can't talk about this too much, but that is not what I accuse him of. I do not think he is that word. I never said that about him, and that's a lie. He wants to do it because there's an obsession going on, but that's irrelevant.
Well, it's all tying back into the point I'm making, where the things that you preach against, you yourself embody. I'm not trying to use this as a gotcha moment, but I do think it's important to illustrate here that Sneako is still denying this claim, even though there's tons and tons of video evidence where he does say that Brandon Buckingham was threatening to rape someone. He says it multiple times, and that's what the lawsuit was about, but it doesn't prevent Sneako from fighting Brandon Buckingham if he was, open to it.
It literally fucking doesn't. If you agree to fucking fight niggas, both parties agrees, there's nothing, like, that's just nothing. What the fuck is gonna happen? Police gonna come and fucking arrest them? No. Nothing fucking happens, my nigga. All you niggas saying, he's being sued, that means nothing.
Defending the beliefs and stuff, which is the point I was trying to make.
If both agree to a boxing match, first of all, I don't even think that nigga's gonna go through with that fucking Sue shit.
R-word your girlfriend. Literally said that. And he said, I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend, bro.
This dude said he is going to R-word my girlfriend.
Bro, nothing warrants saying I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend. Saying you're gonna R-word my girlfriend?
He said that?
Yes. Word for word. I'm going to R-word your girlfriend.
Okay, talking shit by threatening R-word.
Claiming that someone said they're going to rape someone is insinuating they are a rapist.
I don't give a fuck. Nigga come online and lie about me like that. Get ready. I'm either beating the fuck out of you, or I'm getting bread off y'all, because that's crazy defamation. Because now, whether it's true or not, little bot ass niggas gonna be calling me a fucking rapist, bro. That is crazy. Those are the things you don't play about: pedo shit and rape shit. Those are like the two things you don't play about in life. What else, chat? Are those like the two things? Rape and pedophilia. Those two actions, I don't give a fuck else about nothing else, bro.
For making the threat. So this is just a point that I think he was way off the mark on, because he did make these accusations.
Yeah, and like abuser. Like abuser.
$50 on a course from vetted millionaires, or watching a gaming streamer for 6 hours every night?
Well, he didn't use the course to get rich. He's getting rich from the course, the same way that the course that you're selling is not like your main way that you made money. You are making money from that course now, as opposed to what the course is teaching. But again, this is getting completely sidetracked.
That's just not true. That's not my main source of income. I enjoy doing it, and it's a great way to have a network. And you talk about all the lonely men that are out there. What are you doing to go and help these people? We understand that there's a problem with loneliness of men. People get in there, they ask me questions about how do I network better? How do I find people who are like-minded? You give them advice, and you can see them transform their life. I'm curious as to what you think is a better alternative, because you stream gaming for 6 hours. Is that a better solution to men who are lonely watching you play video games?
Yo, okay.
I'm not gonna. Yo, chat. You're not allowed to have any entertainment. Don't watch no shows. Don't play no basketball. Don't watch no streamers. Don't watch no movies. Don't do nothing. You're not allowed to have entertainment. You're not allowed to have peace of mind. You're not allowed to let go of things. If you're stressed about fucking life and someone's dying in your family, you're not allowed to have something to take your mind off of. You know what I'm saying? If watching a stream or Netflix show or whatever is the way is how you cope to deal with certain things, and you're still productive in other aspects of your life, you're not allowed to do that, because you're not fucking, you're not allowed to do that. All right? I'm telling you that right now. You're not allowed to. I don't give a fuck. Okay?
Or giving advice to men who don't know how to find a community of like-minded people.
I'm telling you, if I didn't do things like take time out of my day to, like, let's say, like, hop on Discord and chill with the homies for a little bit for like 1, 2, 3, 4, how many hours I have free, whatever I get free time, I'd lose my fucking mind. I'd literally lose my mind. That's why I value my free time so fucking much, to relax and do the things I need to. Because if I'm just 24/7 just fucking working, I would explode. I would explode.
Who don't know how to make money online and want to live a lifestyle where, look, I'm in Japan. You're still in the same room that I've seen you in since high school.
Niggas could be sleeping, be productive the whole day.
I can go
3, 4
places.
hours out of
I
the day to
choose
do
not
something.
to.
Like,
I'm happy here the
loser,
same
I
way you're
guess.
happy traveling in Japan. Like, these are non-arguments that you're making. It's the same argument
I've
of
never seen you outside of your room. And I don't know how many years I've seen you on YouTube. I've never seen you out of your room.
Nah.
I've seen you with dildos in your room throwing it at each other and your friends. I've never seen you travel. I've never seen you network with other people.
Oh, that's
I've never
tough.
seen you show your audience what's possible if they make money as well.
Why
I've seen
you flaming that nigga? He called that nigga a basement dweller. Yeah, why you flaming that?
you play video games since like 2016.
In one of the clips you showed of me, I am outside at Gasparilla with my girlfriend.
Yo, this nigga be chatting. Yo, this nigga be chatting. Bro. Dremel, thank you for the 6 gifted. Listen, that is another thing with
What are
these
you
niggas,
talking
bro.
about?
With these niggas, with these Sneako ass niggas, they just throw shit at you to make it. And if it sounds good, you're low-key like, you're right. I never, like me in my head when he was talking, I was like, wait, have I seen Charlie outside? Wait, hold on. My nigga, it's literally cap. It's literally cap. You see how these niggas would get you? Because just now when he was saying that, I was like, wait, hold on. Is he low-key cooking? Wait, have I seen this nigga outside? Bro.
We got into a little bit more of a heated argument about this point. I do still take great issue with gurus charging for courses, much like Sneako does.
Like, be careful with this shit. These motherfuckers are hella fucking influential, bro.
With the
They'll
creativity
literally
kit.
have you thinking some shit that is not true.
It's something he actually pitched a lot during our conversation, so it seems something that he strongly believes in. I don't know if that's because of the monetary gain he experiences from it, or if he truly believes it is something that's changing lives, but he did pitch it multiple times because I pointed out that I don't like that kind of shit. It feels exploitative to people that are desperate.
Take your dogs out of their cage. It's not me, it's Charlie!
And looking for anything, whether it's a sense of community or a sense of, here's how to get
Daddy did
successful
for 3
like me.
months.
When really the success is built
yo.
upon the people that pay for it, not what you're preaching. At least the majority of the time that's the case. And then he made the false claim about, you don't showcase what's possible because you stay in your room a lot. Which I do stay in my room a lot, but there is so much content on my channel where I'm outside of my room, it's baffling that he'd even try and make that claim with a straight face. And even in the number one thing he showed for me, which is the picture of me and my girlfriend, we were literally outside at a party. So I don't understand why he keeps making that claim that I don't leave my room or I'm only in the house, but it is something that I fought him on, and he did clearly see he was incorrect on, so another thing he was willing to concede. But still maintaining that courses like $50 a month isn't a lot of money, especially for the value he believes people get out of it. And maybe I can only speak for everything I've ever seen, but I've never read or met someone who is successful because they bought a online guru's course. I only ever see or hear about the people who've lost so much more money than they ever had to spend because they're chasing this fucking hopium that's being peddled their way with these courses.
Here's the thing with these courses. These courses aren't wrong, right? They're not wrong. Like, most of the things that they subscribe to and talk about, they're not wrong. But everything they say is information that you could literally get online for free. Or talking to people. They're not saying anything new. It's literally you can get all the information for free. You feel me?
courses and guides. Now again, Sneako's might not be that. I haven't read it. I'm not 100%.
I'm not saying the shit in there is bullshit, because it's probably not. It's probably just a lot of shit that works and makes sense, but it's not something that you need to be paying $50 for. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
Percent sure, but the vast majority.
I ain't gonna take away from niggas' hustle. Maybe his is different. Maybe nigga shit is different. But on average, come on, bro. What the fuck are they saying that's groundbreaking for real?
These guru courses are completely worthless scams. You're talking about things that are agreeable, and this is what I've said about Andrew Tate. He doesn't always say silly, dumb shit, but he does, and he couples it with good, real things, like you mentioned, porn addiction is a problem. Like, no one's gonna disagree with that, but everything that you're sprinkling in outside of it is totally fucking irrelevant to the rest of it, man. You going and flexing on your audience isn't showing them what's possible, it's showing what's possible when they're paying for your lifestyle. The advice you give, you thrive off them staying miserable.
That's cat. Chat, if you actually sub to me, if you pay me $5 a month, your life actually, you actually get like more, like you open your third eye and shit. Like, I'll teach you some things. Listen, hear me out. Imagine you're sub, and this chat is in sub-only mode, and you want to ask me a question that could change your life, and you can't ask it because it's a sub-only mode. You're a grunt. You do not want to miss out on that opportunity. Okay. Let's say one day I decided to just give away $3,000. That could change your life today. But I'm only giving it away to subs. Look at you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just facts. That's just facts. Or let's say I'm pulling up niggas from Discord and sub-only VC. What if you're the funniest nigga on the planet? And I don't pull you because you're not a sub. The world doesn't get to see you. This is your chance, your breakthrough chance. But you're not a sub, gang. Ain't nobody ever gonna see you. You grunt. You're just another name in the chat. You know? You don't want to be that. You feel me?
Right? The second they get happy, the second they get money,
No,
the second
I definitely don't.
they will not be paying for your course anymore.
If my audience does not get value from my content, they're going to leave. The reality is that
Atrocion, thanks for the 1 month sub. Goddess, thanks for the 14 months. Easy has to go. Thanks for the 12 months. YourRAGE, thanks for the 21 months. Thank you for subscribing. You are smart.
streamers and content creators like you, the audience always grows up. They watch a little bit of the gaming content, then they grow up. They're not learning anything, and so they go to another content creator. They go to somebody else who's popular or trendy. You need to add value to the audience, or else they are going to grow out of it.
And the value from the value.
Everybody grows out of shit over time. Even me, when I was 19, I was watching them fucking red pill shits. I don't watch none of them niggas no more. Everybody grows out of shit. And I wasn't really watching it to get. It was like low-key entertaining to me just to hear about shit and shit like that. But I didn't really use any of those methods and shit. It was just kind of like cool to listen to. I'm not gonna lie. I was 19 listening to, like, what's that one dude, chat? He's a black dude. He's kind of an old head. He be telling niggas about bitches and how they operate and shit. Yo, Appa, thank for the 5 gifteds. Try to think, chat. He's kind of on that manosphere side. AMS! Bro, I used to listen to AMS OD, bro. Because the nigga was entertaining to me. And, like, you know, he's someone that Sneako would probably consider adding value to people's life. My nigga, I do not watch that nigga no more. No hate to him, but it's just like, I just don't. You grow out of shit. You grow out of everything. Almost everything, bro. Flopper, thank for the 10 gifteds.
Value of most things is entertainment. What you used to do was humor interlaced with your stuff. Now it's just preaching to the choir of people that already subscribe to your hive mind. You're still doing the same thing.
That's what you see on Twitter, because that's the only mainstream platform that I'm still allowed to be on. If you watch my stream,
I have watched it.
Yo, chill.
When I watch my stream for 4 hours, it's not preaching. A lot of it's humor. My motto is seek truth through funny.
Which you've abandoned.
What's going on in the world.
It seems you've completely abandoned that. I have watched your streams. I have. A lot of it devolves into just talking again about the same things you always mention. Soy boys, bots, woke mind virus, and then dancing around. And then always trying to defend and find the other side of something controversial. It's the same formula over and over again because that's how you found to keep your audience hooked. It's no different than people that...
I go on Omegle and I'm joking around for an hour or 2 hours. I bring on my viewers and we joke to each other. I bring on people, real life people, they sit next to me and we joke around. I have different podcasts. I have different guests.
The jokes
I just did a podcast with Ryan Dawson. uncovering Epstein and uncovering the truth about 9/11, which I really recommend that you go see, to an alternative platform that's labeled as an alt-right conspiracy website and still maintain the same audience. You can't do that by repeating the same things every day. You have to add some value.
But you can. That's the number one grift right now. As long as you are contributing to an echo chamber, the people will not leave you. You form a reliance where they're constantly suckling your tit for validation that their point of view is the right one.
No matter what the message is. If there's a community of it and you're in an echo chamber in it and you're the biggest like fucking diehard of that community, they will follow you anywhere. You will have a cult. It just is what it is, no matter what it is. Okay.
And the more
that's
that you
the reality of the situation,
the more that solidifies and cements them that belief is the correct one because people are attacking
not true at all.
Slur soon? Oh shit.
I've been talking about the woke mind bias for a long time,
58.
and now my audience wants to get to know the truth. So I've been interviewing different people. I did a whole podcast uncovering Epstein and who's actually on the client list because that's one big conspiracy theory that people want to know more about. I did an entire podcast uncovering 9/11 and the Iraq War and what happened and why war is created by deception. I'm getting into more things because if you get repetitive, they're going to leave.
Admittedly, I do feel bad doing one thing that I hate
that
when
part
other people
is
do,
facts.
which
if you
is
get repetitive, people
box
are
them
going to
into
leave
categories.
to an extent.
Because it is very possible, outside of all the content I've watched from him, that he does other things. Now, I have seen a lot of him. I've watched quite a few streams now, out of curiosity, since his big meltdown with the whole dancing with the gun thing about our beef.
No way.
So I went on there and I did watch some of his streams from that point forward, but they always went the same way. But I do think it was unfair of me to try and box it in and say he's always doing the same thing when it is entirely possible that it's just my exposure to it and what I've seen so far. So I do completely concede that it is possible he does more and talk about more than just what I see on Twitter and the streams that I've seen. But it is worth mentioning later into this discussion, he boxes me in and says all I do is sit in my room playing video games on stream for 7 hours a day. So he is still guilty of the same thing he's accusing others of, which is a point I like to make, but he doesn't fully realize when I say it to him. But hopefully, after our conversation, he does take a step back and recognize, like, okay, I am guilty of a lot of the things I'm accusing others of. But anyway, that was a point that was kind of branching off from the core topic at this moment of the discussion, which was courses. I have no respect for people that are selling courses on, like, here's how you make money. The number one way to make money, guaranteed success. You're gonna, make it with this one. Give me this amount of money every month for.
So, Chad, if I make a book, you're not buying it. If I make a book on how to become a streamer, a good streamer, you're not buying it. First of all, dumbass. Never in my life would I ever do that. Yes, that would be profitable. I know everybody in the chat saying no. Niggas would buy that shit. If streamers were making books on how to become a successful streamer, niggas would buy that shit. Plebs would buy that shit. Like, they just will. But if you do that, you's a bitch. Just if you cared about your fucking audience, if you actually cared, you'll tell them on your fucking streams how. If you actually cared to sell a fucking book, because I care. I want everybody, you just tell them, my nigga. You wouldn't make a book and just farm bread off them niggas. You feel me? I know it's not smart and you're not a businessman, but come on, bro. Fuck all that shit.
My book. I always find that to be exploitative, shitty, scummy, and completely useless. Those kind of creators, those kind of people, they rely on desperation. So let's think about this logically. Why would someone who's selling courses on happiness and how not to be lonely, how to get laid, or how to make money, why would they actually want you to succeed? Because then they lose you as a customer. It is far more in their interest to keep you miserable to keep buying the product. And it is something a lot of them are guilty of doing. Now, I haven't seen Sneako's Creativity Kit, so I can't say for sure if he is also guilty of it as well.
Someone snitched.
Maybe he
Is it
does try to
fire?
offer legitimate advice and actually help people. It is possible. But that's not the case for the vast majority of them, which is why I always call it out as this is scummy. Or at the very least, unnecessary. We live in a time where you have access to all the information you could ever want. You just need to search it up. You don't need to be paying people that you view as successful to learn their secrets, when those secrets they're revealing aren't what they used to get wealthy in the first place. It's selling you hope. When you are buying their product, you are filling their pockets. That is the product.
Buy it and review it.
The book.
I bought Sneako's Creativity Kit so you wouldn't have to. Head ass boy.
Not what's in it, it's the book. They're making their money off your purchase of the book. They're not making their money off of the advice they've given you. At least not the majority of the time. And that's what I was trying to talk about here.
What are your beliefs? What are they? I don't know them. Can you tell me what you believe in?
Yeah, I feel like I've made my beliefs very clear. I am very firmly on the side of there are certain things, and it's going to be different for everyone, that make people happy. And main thing I want is for people to be happy. I don't like that men are alone, which is why a lot of the advice I give is telling them to get out of their comfort zone and start with something like the gym. The gym is a very social environment. It's an environment where everyone's working to...
Yo, why the fuck does Sneako nigga want to argue me? I've been in the gym longer than you've been on this fucking bot-ass fucking wave that you're on, my nigga. Don't tell me about... You can't tell me nothing about a fucking gym. Ever in your life. Ever. My nigga.
towards similar goals. You immediately surround yourself with like-minded people, and maybe you make a connection at the gym, maybe you can find a friend there, but even if you don't, you are out of your comfort zone in an environment where people are working for a similar goal, and that already changes your mindset as a person. You've given yourself a goal, you are acting on it, and now you're surrounded by people that are also in a similar boat. I think, most importantly, is I want people to be happy, and a lot of times they can't find that. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with escapism, like watching someone play a game, or even playing...
I gotta set up my fucking physical therapy. Fuck, thank you. Somebody said you're always injured. I gotta set up my fucking... Holy shit. Physical therapy. Bro, I'm getting physical therapy on my knee for the first time, chat. Trying to make sure I don't got that. About damn time. Because this is bad, bro. I felt nothing last week. I hope for the first time in a month on Thursday. Knee was swollen all weekend, bro. I'm just trying not to have a Lonzo Ball fucking thing. I'm telling you right now, though, chat. The reason why I need physical therapy is, one, my ortho, when they saw my old MRI that I got, they're like, oh, it's not too bad. It's probably just, you know, just wear and tear on your fucking cartilage and shit that's fucking pissing it off and shit. So have physical therapy. If that doesn't help within a month or two, get it scoped, cleaned out. The recovery for that is also like a month, and I should be straight. That's what I'm told. There's nothing too crazy. And the real reason why it's all worn down and shit is really because of my feet. I have flat ass feet, bro.
Games yourself, watching
Any of y'all got
playing
flat
sport
feet?
yourself is also great. I play pickup basketball every Thursday. Getting out, talking, outside of a comfort zone.
My man plays pickup. Hey, Charlie play pickup every Thursday. Yo, Charlie, I saw your DM. Don't think I didn't see your DM about the, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm leaking anything. But I just can't fly to that game. I'm sorry. I will get you next time, though.
Instead of sitting online making 20,000 tweets on the Sneako Twitter, I think is not productive. Replying to Sneako's Twitter, replying to my Twitter, none of it I think is productive. I've had Twitter since 2012. I've made 2,600 tweets, and half of those are just shit posts or a retweet. I think all of that, locking yourself inside as a recluse, living in this completely toxic landscape like Twitter is the most detrimental thing for a person, and that extends to TikTok as well. I think TikTok has absolutely ruined people's brains in terms of what they can even stomach as an attention span. Having to have like Subway Surfer underneath a video of someone talking because you can't focus long enough, I think it's all a problem. So the things I talk about are usually geared towards either entertaining people for 8 minutes a day or whatever, or during a stream if they're already home from work and just need to unwind. I think all of that is fine. But I do always try and give some level of advice. My back
Someone said Sneako head shape pissed me off. Yo, Sneako. Something about Sneako's head, like his dome, reminds me of like I knew this nigga was like a little badass little jit as a kid, bro. Like a badass annoying ass little kid with a big ass fucking dome on him, bro. I know exactly what you mean, bro. I know exactly what you mean. Who got a baby picture of this nigga? I need to see a baby picture of this nigga, bro. Like, tell me you can't envision this nigga as a kid, bro. As like a little baby with a
in the
big ass
mind-body connection in terms of
no offense,
strength
bro.
building and muscle building. It's going to change your whole brain chemistry, and it will help improve the way you're looking at the world. So that's one of the big things I talk about, is even if you're 100% comfortable,
like a badass little jit, bro,
there is no reason not to at least try to make these kind of differences.
Nigga was running around putting his boogers on people and shit in pre-K.
And change your perspective on things.
Nigga was stealing niggas' toys and shit.
It helps your mind overall. I am always against people paying for advice from so-called gurus and professionals because you don't need it. The beauty of the internet is it is an unlimited repository of all of the human knowledge, just this compendium of every piece of information.
Compendium. Chat, I want to fucking widen our vernacular, bro. Compendium.
For every subject you could want. And you can access it for free. Under no circumstances do I ever advocate for someone paying up to $50 a month for advice they can freely find right now. Even if it doesn't come with a built-in...
gamers always have the argument, but then they never talk about how college is a waste of time and that people go into 50 to 100,000.
Bro, shut the... Okay. That is the most bot thing anybody can say. What do you mean college is a waste of time? If college is a waste of time, niggas would be dead. We would have no doctors, no nurses. Okay, some people, not all, a lot of people need college. I'm not saying all, but college is very useful for a lot of people to get certain jobs that require a degree. Okay? Stop being a fucking bot, bro. Holy shit.
$1,000 in debt from people who aren't vetted millionaires. If you could pay $50 and talk to a vetted millionaire who has made money online,
Bro,
in
I
a way
hate
that they
this
don't teach
dumb shit. This is like a child. Like, this is some 15-year-old way of thinking.
school, $50 is a steal. People get really upset about
fucking 26 or some shit,
because
gang.
you're paying somebody directly and you know who you're spending the money on. You don't get upset about college because you don't know the principle. You don't know the
College is useless for a nigga like Kai Cenat, for fucking Drake and shit. But for my fucking mother, yes, she needed fucking she needed that shit. She needed that shit.
master. You don't know the donors. They're nameless people behind a university.
So
the point of the network is
for the
collective
average
information
person
concentrated in one place,
they need
and also
that
the
shit.
network of people that you can find. Right here, I'm in Japan traveling with somebody that I met from the Creativity Kit. That's
Now-
something that is valuable and that you will only find by paying $50, which is not a huge price.
That is a big price, but also, do you see what just happened there? You went in.
$50 is a huge price. That's the same price as your merch that you're using to advertise on this drama. Would you rather your audience pay $50 for a T-shirt from a gamer, or they meet somebody that they can go start a business with?
That the merch isn't $50 for a T-shirt, but regardless, what I want you to recognize is what happened there. I was
I think
talking.
it is.
Yo, nigga thought he was Bruce selling t-shirts for $250, bro.
It's still not, but what just happened there is I was talking about something and you went into PR speak and salesman mode to talk about your course, and you attributed something to me that I actually talk against. I actually have spoken many times about why college just isn't right for everybody. It's not. It simply isn't.
It simply isn't. Isn't. And if it's not, there's a whole lot of things in this world that you could do. You could find a trade. You could make a business if you already have one in mind. You know what I'm saying? You could do all type of shit. All type of shit. But if you have a passion that requires a degree, obviously it's useful for those people. My nigga. My nigga. And it is the most consistent way of getting a stable fucking job. It just is. A job that pays money. It just is, my nigga. What do you think is more likely? A person to get a degree and then a job and then they get a degree in, or somebody trying to start a business, my nigga? Obviously, if you want to start a business, it's cool, but it's just not.
Where for the first time in your
If we
life,
talk
you're on
about
your own,
percentages, it's
you learn how to
just
fend
not
for
as
yourself, you learn
fucking
how to interact
reliable,
with
bro.
roommates,
It's just not.
strangers, so you get social
That's
skills.
real life.
But college is not going to be a great fit for everyone, especially when it comes to certain academia positions, especially like in some art.
I'm not saying you get a degree and you automatically get a job. There's obviously still people with degrees struggling to get a job, but it's just.
I actually
talking
talk a lot
percentages
about
here, bro.
that. But you keep lumping me in with this perception of a gamer and these beliefs that you don't know anything about me on, and yet you still put me in there. And then,
Then you should probably make it more clear.
I do.
I've been personally watching your videos for years, and I had no idea about any of this.
So-
I've seen you gaming. I've seen you react to drama content. I didn't know that was your method to make people happy, which I think is a narrow way of answering that question about what you believe in and what your belief system is.
I was still
but that's
going.
fine. But I'm glad that you said that, and I think that you should reiterate that more in your video to add more value
Are we hard? Oh, I thought we were a hard F. I thought we were a hard F. Oh my god.
to your audience.
So you said you've watched for a long time. These aren't secrets. I made a video 6 years ago. I just double checked. I uploaded a video 6 years ago called "You're Getting Fucked."
People with degrees are more successful on average. That's what I'm saying. Chat. That's the only stat you need to know. Why are people with degrees more successful on average with people without degrees, chat? If degrees are so useless, why? If college is so useless, why are people with degrees on average more successful than people without degrees? Tell me why. Tell me why.
Fucked by college textbooks.
If college
the
is
entire
fucking
video is
useless
about
for
how college
everybody.
textbooks in particular are a massive scam and a very predatory system that universities are
Because
using.
of Fortnite.
I
Low key. Fortnite may have played a big role in that.
do talk about these things. You are just not seeing them and then still putting words in my mouth. My beliefs, I think, are very clear to the people that watch. They're not a secret. They're not hidden. I make them.
System, dumbass nigga. Whether it's the system or fucking not, it's fucking reality. And the reality you fucking live in, dumbass nigga. So unless you're gonna fucking break the system with your fucking asshole, shut the fuck up and get a fucking job, nigga.
Them very obvious. It was after this brief discussion here that the entire landscape of our conversation changed, and it became very clear Sneako never knew anything about me to begin
Fucking
with. He keeps calling me a
neckbeard
gamer,
bitch.
gamer, using the hard G on me, gamer. And I think that might be because that's the only content he ever watched, but I really don't think I've ever made a secret what my beliefs are. I talk about them on stream, I talk
do you
about
think
them
for
in
yourself, my
videos,
boy?
I've never been fearful of it. And yet Sneako either pretends he never saw them, or maybe he just legitimately never saw them. But after explaining to him, he really seemed to change his whole tone about me as a person.
College is good, but you need to try your own thing too. That's literally, you don't have to do whatever you want. But I feel like the best method, go to school, just have backup, and do your own thing. I feel like that is the best method, bro. Like I feel like that's the safest method. The safest method. Go to school, take as many credits as you can handle at a time. Pace yourself. Don't overload yourself. But also Whatever you want to do in your head, do that on the side. That's what I did. I was in school. I was doing a little bit more credit. I was doing like full-time school damn near. So a lot of people just don't have the time for that and having a job and trying to do their own thing. You feel me? So go to school, I feel like. Pace yourself and do your own thing. Try to create something, try to do something. I don't know, dude. And if that other thing you like doing explodes, you could fucking drop college. Fuck you, college. I got what I did done, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a psychiatrist here or an expert.
But sometimes that's hard when you're balancing school and work and in college, because people have to fucking go to have normal jobs to like stay afloat. Like
In the field, but if I had to wager a guess, I think Sneako put an image of me in his head and attributed a whole ton of characteristics to that scarecrow that he put in there that just isn't actually me in reality, and that's who he attacks so vehemently. Whereas I do know a lot about Sneako, because there is a big difference between us in terms of our belief. It's all the fuck he talks about. It's the only thing that ever leaves his mouth is always preaching about something. We're trying to make a big statement about their beliefs or their politics. Whereas that's not me. The main thing I focus on is just entertainment. My videos are made purely for fun. It's just because I thought it'd be entertaining. It's a silly topic. It's something
that's
fun,
true.
and that's it. There's never really anything too much deeper, unless it's a topic I'm covering that I'm passionate about, or I have something more I want to add on to it about my own personal beliefs, then I do. I'm never afraid to. But it's not all I talk about, whereas for Sneako and a lot of people in his circle, their main content is talking about what they believe, whereas my main thing is just making entertaining shit. So maybe that's a core misunderstanding here, because he clearly didn't really know much about me, whereas I do know a lot about him since he is so open with everything. He wears his fucking heart on his sleeve, and I just disagree with a lot of it. But a big difference is I don't hate people that I disagree with on things. In fact, there's nobody in the world, not even my best friends, that I agree with on every issue, every time, and see eye to eye on everything.
That's another thing. A lot of people take others' opinions to heart too much, bro. That's just their opinion. Let them fucking rock.
I don't like
it sped up? Yeah, about 1.25.
I wouldn't want to have someone I agree with on everything.
Rage Maker OnlyFans? What do you want to post on it?
Perspectives and different opinions. It's how you grow, and it's how you learn as well. So I don't get mad when people disagree with me or have different things that I don't agree with. That doesn't piss me off. But for Sneako, it clearly has, and he really didn't even know anything about me to begin with here until after our conversation. Now, I know I'm cutting up our conversation quite a bit here, but I'm just trying to focus on like the big chunk topics that we tackled. One of them that we did touch on quite a bit and got pretty passionate about is gaming. And like Sneako firmly believes that people that are gaming or watching sports are wasting their time. Completely valueless. Entertainment like that has no value whatsoever. And I kept trying to point out that
I'm telling you right now, gang, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Hey, my gamers know. Hey, any of you niggas that play CSGO, fucking Valorant, or any of them fucking, you know what I'm saying, games where you need to peek and use IQ and shit, bro, a person who is like fucking on some gamer shit, who owns a gun, and a person who just doesn't do no gaming, no aim training or nothing, who has a gun, I'm telling you, them fucking gamers got IQ, bro. They gonna play their corner. Someone intrudes in their house, they gonna play their corners right. They're surviving a home invasion way better than the nigga that's playing no games. I'm telling you, bro. They gonna have the peaks, bro. They gonna have the peaks. They gonna have the flanks. They gonna have all the heavens, bro. They gonna have everything on lock. You know what I'm saying? They seen the situation in literally yesterday, my nigga. They seen the situation yesterday on fucking Haven, my nigga. Okay, it just is what it is, boy. It just is what it is, bro. You feel me? You gotta know which angles to peek, how close on the angle to be at, because you know that if the dude is over there, he can see you, or you can see him before he can see you, because you're staying back from the angle to the... Come on, man. Like, it is what it is, gang. It just is, bro. And you unlock certain things in your brain when you gaming, bro. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong with entertainment, like watching sports, watching movies, watching streams, playing games. All that's fine in moderation. But Sneako only views it through...
Obviously with moderation. If you're a fucking no-life playing games all day, eat, sleep, shit game, you're a fucking loser. You understand me? Do you understand me? If you eat, sleep, shit game, live at your fucking mommy's house, you're doing nothing productive, you're a loser. Loser! You hear me? As long as you're productive in some way, you got a job, you're working on yourself, you're going to the gym, you're not addicted to this shit, you're productive in some way, play all the fucking games you want, my nigga. You talking to us? You know what I'm saying? Or trying to, at least? And this gaming shit is not hindering you in any way? Go ahead, my boy. Do what you want to do.
One lens, which is excess, obsession, addiction, where all they do is watch sports, play games, do this and that. And then, of course, it is very detrimental, and it is bad for overall health. I'm not going to bother showing clips from that because that one just really went in circles.
You're addicted, but
I think
also
there's just a fundamental disagreement there.
I'm addicted, but also rich, you say, and have a following, and go to the gym, and hoop, and have a girlfriend, and have a social life, and have friends, and help the people around me, and literally do everything that anybody would want to fucking do by my age? What do you mean, so I guess, my nigga? Don't so I guess me, bitch-ass boy. The fuck is you talking about, so I guess? I can do whatever the fuck I want. You understand me?
Or Sneako believes anything
Just
that's
because you can't, don't put that on me, nigga. I can do what I want.
entertainment driven is just not worth it, and time
I
should
hate
always
you.
be spent better doing anything else.
Shut
But
up.
then he puts his content on a pedestal that's an exception to his rule where, no, this content that I make is the one that's valuable. Everything else is worthless. This is the value. This, 4 hours, 5 hours of Rumble streaming and, whatever's going on over there, that's a good use of time, and all the other streams like gaming and all that's terrible. So that got really muddy and messy, and
See
there
what's
wasn't
coming?
really any way we
Wait, 58 what?
and like had a perspective that made sense to
58,
each other, because
57.
his stream is just as much guilty of being a waste of time by his definition as my stream playing a game. It's still a form of entertainment and escapism, no matter how you spin it. I don't see how your message is somehow bolstered by spamming slurs, for example, like during that stream with the gun. I couldn't listen to you because you kept saying slurs. How is that necessarily
58,
helping
57?
make people happy or positive in any way, shape, or form? What does that do to contribute to your overall goal? Because it's not humor either, so it's not seeking truth through funny. It's literally just spamming slurs because you were mad at me.
It is, the reason that it's funny is because I'm on a platform that has free speech, and you're not bound by wokeness where you can't say certain words and you're labeled racist or homophobic or transphobic, where you can say things even if you don't mean them, because we're not trapped with words.
But why say something you don't? Why say something you don't mean though? What does that do? Wouldn't that go against your ideology where you're like faking it?
That's not a word. A word doesn't encourage. A word doesn't encompass. Is funny. That was the funniest thing you said this whole debate.
How is that?
What's the next one? What's the next one?
See? You're laughing now. See?
Well, because it's just it's an outrageous claim. It's like talking to a child.
Well, no, like my point. It's outrageous. It's funny.
Your defense of
the
it.
First time we laughed this whole time. First time we laughed this whole thing.
This is
because of one little word.
Yes, because it's such a silly defense of it. It's like a child who hears fuck for the first time and he's like, "Woo, daddy said fuck." Like things started to go a little goofy mode here, a little wacko style. So the slur.
Yo, Sneako, why are you so goofy? You goofa.
This is something I've mentioned. I couldn't watch him.
Charlie, you're so
because he
goofy,
just kept saying the F slur, and my point here was why it doesn't really accomplish anything for his goals or anything like that.
Yeah, why did he
He's
started
just
flirting
spamming
out of nowhere,
slurs, which makes
chat?
it sound like he's just mad at me and trying to choose the worst words he can think of. Now looking back on it.
Yo, chat, imagine Charlie with a fucking goatee, bro. Would he be comp? Would he be comp if he had chin hair? Oh my god.
And I do regret not pushing a bit more on this point because there was a lot I wanted to say on it, but I just got so thrown off and blown away by his explanation of all of it that I totally forgot to expand. Because he really only says the F slur, the homophobic slur. And he says it doesn't encompass a whole belief system. Okay, well then why is it only that slur? I don't think I've ever heard him start spamming the N-word, hard R, or anything like that.
101 what?
And he's very open about how much he appreciates the Islamic faith. I've never heard
I spam that shit, nigga.
him use any slurs against Muslims or anything like that. So if you feel so strongly that words don't necessarily indicate your actual beliefs, then why aren't you using more slurs? Why don't you drop more racist slurs during your stream? Why is the only one you use the F slur? If this is really how you feel about those words, then why aren't you using all of the other slurs? If they don't mean anything, and you feel so comfortable with Rumble allowing you to use the F slur so loosey-goosey, why is it only that one? Why not every slur? I'm just curious if there's like a tier list of slurs for you. I would have liked to ask more on that, but I guess I'll do it now in post. Which it seems like you can recognize.
Do you believe that Andrew
101 what?
are innocent?
46?
That I don't know. They could be, and I've said that from the start.
You don't have a belief on that?
Well, because I don't have the evidence. They've been charged twice with the human trafficking, but none of the evidence is public.
You didn't look at all the victims and their allegations and how everything was exposed on WhatsApp, how they plan to make a Netflix movie out of this. All of that was online. I think.
But then,
if you cover current events, this is something you jump onto the pizza box, but you don't take the time to go and look at all the evidence that was debunked.
That's not true, though, because
like, why do you spend the narrative laughing at somebody falsely in prison, but you can't go and just look at a couple
46, right?
screenshots and see that as garbage? You're laughing at the pizza box putting 2 people in jail because of what you. Hey, there's no consequences for that. Nobody goes to jail falsely.
I have looked at the evidence from both sides. I always do. I don't just go to these tribes and just assume everything on my side is right and everything on that side is wrong. I take information from all angles in order to find where I personally sit on this perspective, on this situation. So, for the Tate brothers, being charged twice with human trafficking, while there is some shady shit from the victims, there is still real merit to some of the things that people were talking about, such as something you talked about as well, the taking of the passports from some of the women and getting there under the guise that they would be able to date them. Those are very odd, very peculiar things. So it's not like it's just, oh, all of that's wrong and we have to disregard all of it because...
You think that niggas knew that was illegal? That lover boy shit? I thought that was just manipulation, gang. I thought that was just some fucked up manipulation shit. Like, yo, gang, like, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck knows that shit, bro? And why the fuck didn't nobody tell me? Is it illegal? I mean, like, you know, lying to bitches, you know what I'm saying? Making them think, like, yeah, you're gonna be my bitch. It's gonna be me and you. You know what I'm saying? They fly over to live with you. Yeah, I want you working here during this shift and that shift and that shift. Is that okay? Okay, yeah, you might need to show your pussy a few times a day. But yeah, and they're like, okay. They just pimping. It's called pimps. What's the difference between pimping and managing? Like people that be managing OnlyFans bitches like pages and shit. What's the biggest difference? Same shit? Nah, but nah. It's consensual. Ask Amaranth. Yo! But didn't these women with Tate have consent or no? No relationship. Okay. I mean,
this is here.
I think it's something else.
There is, on both sides here, evidence that makes it a very complicated case, which is why it's gone on for so long, right? It's not one
contracts, yo,
where I know the answer.
It's about how you get them into it. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the biggest way. It's about how you get them into it. It's context and shit, right? It has to be. But context can be so fucking blurred and lied and like twisted and shit. So that shit gets blurry, gang. You know what's crazy? Tate would have never been investigated and shit if he wasn't online fucking telling niggas what he was doing and teaching niggas. That's why I be thinking that they didn't know that shit was illegal. Because why the fuck would you go online and tell the world, like, blah, 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 knowing it's illegal type shit?
They could be
ratted
innocent.
on themselves.
They could be guilty. I do think it's weird they've now been charged twice. There is some very odd things there because that's not exactly a light thing to come after someone for. And there is things that you have talked about.
Wrong that people can go to jail for 4 months without any evidence of charges?
And even outside of the Tates, I have said that in this country, where you can go to jail on suspicion of things without ever being charged. It's a problem. Yes, it is a problem.
Okay. Without any evidence of charges?
A light thing to come after someone for. And there is things that you have talked about.
Wrong that people can go to jail for 4 months without any evidence of charges?
And even outside of the Tates, I have said that in this country, where you can go to jail on suspicion of things without ever being charged.
Chat, this is literally the shirt I was wearing in that video of Bruce. And at the awards. And y'all calling this a fucking turtleneck, my nigga? Is that a turtleneck?
It's a problem. Yes, it is a problem.
Okay. I didn't see that video. I saw the video laughing about the pizza box putting in the video. Did you make a video about that?
Yes, and I talked. Well, it's in that video where I say I don't know if he's guilty. I don't like if there's real victims here. Like I would never celebrate someone being a human trafficker because there's victims. I wouldn't celebrate him being a human trafficker. That means there are real victims there. Even though I disagree with like his Hustlers University and a lot of the dumb shit he says, I wouldn't want him to be a human trafficker. That means there are real victims being in.
Exactly. Any fucking weirdo. Look at you motherfuckers. Any of you weirdos that want Tate shit to like be him to be like. Have that happen, like, oh yeah, we found it. You're a weirdo, because that means real victims were fucking trafficked, my nigga. Real victims were fucking trafficked. If you want this nigga to be convicted of this shit, because like you want it to be true, you want that shit to be true. Any motherfuckers on Twitter, because you hate the nigga, you're weird. You're weird as fuck. You would want it not to be true, because you do not want women going through that. True or false? True or false, my nigga? So that's why I be saying, like, I pray that shit not true. You know what I'm saying?
I did say that, and I don't know if he's guilty. I don't know if he's innocent. Nobody does right now, except for them and whatever's going on in Romania. The joking about a pizza box
Obvious
is
take,
things I make
obvious take.
about anything that has craziness around it. Like the Gwyneth Paltrow trial. There's so much silliness there that I talk about, but at the end of the day, I don't know who's innocent or guilty. I'm
Very
joking
thin
about
line
the
between that.
goofiness of things that have come up.
That's why they got that investigation. So it doesn't matter what the fuck he said.
All right, I gotta get going.
Now, he mentioned Andrew
Type shit.
Tate, and this is another thing. Andrew Tate is very clearly an important figure in Sneako's life. And I made 2 videos covering Andrew Tate. One of them joking about Hustlers University and just a lot of the silly things that he's done, and the other when he got
Bro said I'm out, nigga.
So, let's talk about that. I have always maintained that Andrew Tate is a very entertaining clown most of the time, but much like a lot of personalities online, especially ones that sell courses, he has to sprinkle in very agreeable things with some of his rants. So he has good things that he actually will say, especially in terms of like men and their loneliness, and how working out is extremely beneficial to helping with mentality and just general overall mood and well-being. So he does say agreeable things that I've always said he has done a decent job of with those certain topics. But on the whole, most of the things he says are just outrageous nonsense about like how he doesn't watch Star Wars and that's why he gets pussy and has expensive cars, or why books are stupid. Like there's a lot of silliness there, and Hustlers University, I have always maintained, is completely exploitative of desperate men. So yes, I have made jokes about Andrew Tate. I am
It
not
was hella shit I was watching sometimes. He was talking about shit I do. Like, if anybody plays a video game, you're a fucking loser. I was like, hey, bitch, watch your fucking mouth, nigga. Before I hit this 150 tap with the Vandal, nigga. Before you talking about, I just hit fucking Ascendant, nigga. Something else like.
Biggest fan. Now,
Proud
when
of
I
that
did
shit,
cover the
nigga.
arrest, I did
What you
mention
talking
the
about?
pizza box theory. At the time, that was
Lying,
reported by
man.
multiple outlets as a very real possibility that led to his arrest. So at the time I did report on it, I did say it seems, talking about like this being the speculation as to why they finally pursued him now.
You lost
But
the
yes, I
servers?
do understand that
My
that
nigga.
was heavily disputed after the fact, a
Run
couple days
Smurf Q, you dumbass boy.
later. But I did talk about it and joke
Check
about
the
the pizza box
tracker
thing,
of
which
the-
made
those
Sneako in particular very
3
upset,
niggas,
thinking that I was
0.5
laughing at
KD,
2 men
bro.
falsely
Like what?
imprisoned. Which I've never laughed about. I've laughed about the idea of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate being thrown in jail because of pizza boxes. I have also laughed and made jokes about some of the tweets that Andrew has made while in jail, such as talking about practicing his dragon karate fist that would break through every known metal on Earth, fucking shatter tungsten.
And you a Smurf too? Nigga, 1 Smurf versus 3 Smurfs, who fucking wins that, nigga? With my team full of real silvers. Nigga going 9 and 23 and shit.
Whatever. And yeah, I've joked about the tweet where he's talking about like ghosts that he's killed, making himself sound like the goddamn paranormal firing squad out there, keeping the halls of the prison safe from ghouls and spirits. And while I made jokes at the idea of a pizza box leading to prison time, it wasn't the actual core idea of 2 innocent men potentially being in jail that
Joshua,
gave me a
what's
big
up?
hearty belly laugh or anything like that. It was the outrageous circumstances surrounding it. I don't know if they're guilty. As I said in the video, I don't know if they are. I do find it weird that they've been charged with the same thing twice with multiple raids now, but at the end of the day, if they're innocent, I don't want to see them in jail. The reasoning for keeping them in jail was like a potential flight risk, like leaving the country, so I guess that was the explanation for it, but I have talked in the past about being...
them niggas just low-key wanted them video, bro. They was tight. Yo, they see the YouTube video that nigga take top about, yeah, Romania and shit, nigga. I'll be in, if I get arrested, I got henchmen come pick me up, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that niggas, crunk that nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm him in that motherfucker, but I walk down the street, you know what I'm saying? I got motherfuckers at my, you know, I pay whoever I want off. They like, all right, bet. Lock these niggas up. We on their ass. 4 months.
imprisoned with no charges.
It was
is
on
something
their
I
ass, bro.
don't fucking agree with, which isn't a controversial take. So all of these things that Sneako attributed to me were things that I didn't actually believe, or in my opinion, do.
That nigga
Talking
was
about the pizza
cat.
box thing, the day that it
Nigga said that nigga was cat.
happened
Yo, what they
wasn't
at?
outlandish. It wasn't until a
It's
couple
5
of days
a.m.
later
chat.
where
I
that
gotta
was
go feed
more
the puppies.
debunked and heavily scrutinized. But even then, I still talked about it more of like a silly idea if this was the case. And the jokes I made about Andrew Tate were mainly about the response to Andrew Tate going to jail, like some of the unhinged tweets about how, well, if it's true, human trafficking is not really that big of a deal anyway, so it's still bullshit. It's not that big of a charge, which is
Dog
still
daddy.
a crazy thing to say. The whole thing was never really about
It's tough.
whether or not he truly was guilty or innocent, because I don't know. I still don't know. Nobody still knows because it's still an ongoing investigation. So we did talk about that. He did see where I was coming from, and I was appreciative that he was willing to hear my explanation for where I stand on all of that. And I do think that we came to understand each other's perspective on it. Getting towards the end of our conversation, we started talking once again about one of the things that I really tried to drive home and hope to have
It's
some kind of
12 p.m.
breakthrough
in
on the way that he
Finland?
perceives jokes and insults, like, and trying to find what his line was, because he calls a lot of things hit pieces, like when Willie Mack makes
Hey,
a video
man.
breaking down, like,
Hey chat, we got it. Abdi, cook up. We got it, bro. This was a good. Hey, this was a nice chill long. We didn't pause too much. The reaction probably gonna be like an hour or something. We didn't pause too much. I don't think you really need to skip too much at all, Abdi. I don't think you need to cut nothing for real. The end was good. What do you mean the end was good? Keep watching. The end was good. There's something.
moments or like really big L's, Willie Mack will point them
Oh,
out and
there's
make
more.
jokes about it.
My fault.
That's not cancellation to me, but
actually
to
more.
Sneako it is. And I kept trying to get to the bottom
Resident
of
Evil
that,
chat?
and we did have more discussion on it, but I don't think we ever really reached a ground where I like agreed with him on his definition of like what canceling is versus
I gotta
what
sleep.
joking is.
Chill, baby
So
girl.
like Meat Canyon, he mentions he had no problem with. He had a good sense of humor about it and found them to be enjoyable. Like that's great. But then why doesn't that same thing extend to someone who also still makes jokes about it like Willie Mack did? When I really just feel like it's the same thing. There is deplatforming, advocating for deplatforming, and then there's just insulting someone. And I haven't seen a ton of people advocating for Sneako to be deplatformed, aside from a couple of very rare
Bro,
instances.
unless you're fucking promoting pedophilia, promoting rape, and promoting racism, I don't think anybody should be deplatformed, bro. I don't think anybody should be
Of that. The rest I see as people just dunking on him the same way that he dunks on people he doesn't like. So we did just keep going in circles around that for like another 20 minutes, so I don't really think there's any reason to show too much of that. But I would like to get you to our closing statements, and then something crazy happened at the very end.
Look at the way that people who are telling the truth get painted as. They get painted as these incel, virgin, loser, racist, misogynist. They try to box you in instead of tell the truth about you, because I think that they don't like what you're talking about. But I would like for us to have another conversation in the future. I like that you have a good message about how people should be happy. I like that you're advocating for the gym and you're playing basketball and you're telling people to get out of their comfort zone. I think that those are all really good things. And I do think that you're funny. I can't deny about that. Like, it's a little monotone, but you know, you're funny guy.
I do appreciate the conversation. After our conversation, there really wasn't a ton of
So some of the real Sneako was popping out there. Some of the real Sneako was popping out there. Some of the real Sneako, you know what I'm saying, was popping out there. Hey.
W dick suck. W glaze. We like that. Finally. I like the W humility right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
hostility left. I really feel like Sneako built me up very differently in his head to paint me as a villain in his own mind, and the reality is I just didn't match that description. Now, for me, I did know a lot about Sneako, but after talking to him, I feel like a large part of that is a persona that he's putting on. The way he conducted himself in this conversation...
Bro, chat, you don't want to believe it, but bro, a lot of these niggas is a persona, bro. Like, it is what it is, bro. It's a persona. Like it ain't no. It makes them bread. It gives them a community. It just is.
He was much more calm.
Even you? What the fuck about me could be a fucking persona, nigga? I just talk shit and fucking watch shit and play games and fucking do shit, nigga.
Like, he is still very passionate, clearly, but he's not having a fucking conniption and a meltdown like I've seen him do so many times in the past. So I do feel like it was a productive conversation, and there are just things that I will always disagree with him on. I'm not seeing eye to eye with a lot of the things.
Of cope and of jealousy, because they see people who are living a lifestyle opposite of them, and instead of admitting that there's a different path or admitting that they could have a good point, they try to bring down their character. That's the common theme I see with these people. So the intentions that I see from these people in the collage, they're not pure, they're not good. It's jealousy and it's hate.
And again, that is still something they could say about you as well. That's just one of the things
That's
I was
fair, that's fair, and that's why you made me realize that I need to, this whole hate brigade on Sneako in the recent weeks, I'm going to repurpose my message now. I'm not going to, what up, man? Yo, do you know Moist Critical? Hey, say what's up to him now. We're saying hi. Yeah.
Hey,
look.
I follow you on Twitter.
It's so interesting. Yeah.
Hey.
Just traveling the world right now.
Cool, man. See Moist Canyon's video?
Yeah, we saw Meat. What did you think of the Meat Canyon video?
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, what's up, man?
It was
Hey,
fun.
how's it going, man?
About it.
Cool.
Hey, Charlie.
Just casually, hey Charlie, what's up, man?
We squashed the beef.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I've been
Listen, this is real life. Niggas aren't as hostile and fucking brain dead fucking at each other. This is real life, bro. It doesn't have to be this serious, my nigga. You see this shit? This is real life. Oh, what's up, Sneako? Oh, hey, Charlie. Like, come on, bro.
Actually,
It's funny.
I think that's a good way to end it on. Hope we can talk again in the future. I don't think we should have
This
beef.
is real life, bro.
I want to thank you
Everything's so fucking heightened on the internet and fucking...
for starting that whole Sneako hate brigade, because it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I am guilty of doing the same things that I am mad about. And I do attribute a lot of that to being canceled and a lot of resentment about that.
That big-ass pussy off this camera, fucking
now
Charlie.
and not engage in the same type of behavior that I criticize. Yeah, you're right about that. So I'm just going to go and, I'm not going to go attack mode anymore. I don't think that there's any value to that. It's just going to come back to me.
Well, I actually really appreciate the conversation, man. It's nice to